Hi, my name is Three Wise Radio.
Hi, Three Wise Radio.
I had some, like, from Comic-Con, there was the one thing that was super uplifting and then so demoralizing.
Mm-hmm.
It was Ghost Rider confirmed for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Jose Reyes. I don't give a fuck.
Robbie Reyes.
Whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But Ghost Rider's going to be
Johnny
on
Blaze.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yes, sir.
Not Johnny Blaze.
They showed his car. It's a pretty rad car.
Oh, yeah.
But not Johnny Blaze, a.k.a. the one and only true King Nick Cage.
I'd be okay with Johnny Cage or Danny Ketch because they're brothers, so
No,
it's fine.
you'd be okay with Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch, but Johnny Cage would work too.
I'd be okay with Nick Cage is the only option.
I mean, I'm okay with
What's Nick Cage really doing right now?
No, I mean...
I just don't think you can hold him down for that amount of time.
Yeah.
Nick Cage?
I mean, he's good for a movie, but then, like...
Why not just...
If a movie goes a week over time frame, you're like, okay, we got to film everything with Nick because he's gone.
Here's the thing. I think he'd do it, but you'd have to, like, also promise him he'd be in, like, the next Avengers movie or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, like, if you gave him something big and we're like, you have to do this, too.
Again, I do find it
would.
so not peculiar, because Ghost Rider screams Netflix.
Yeah.
Screams Netflix.
God.
I think it all... They have the rights back, and it all depends on how much...
I would love
Punisher,
to see
I think, does.
I'd love to see... And I mean, like, they could still do Ghost Rider Netflix. They just wouldn't do it as Robbie Reyes, or they might do it as Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch. You know, like, they could do any of the other Ghost Riders that's not Robbie Reyes.
Absolutely.
I don't see anything not... have you seen anything not Comic-Con related?
No.
First official look at the Tick was something that came out before Con.
Well, all this, a review of Ghostbusters and all the Batmen and Supermen fighting you could ever want.
Yeah.
On today's episode. Welcome to Three Wise Radio, a podcast where we talk about movies, comic books, TV, technology, the internet, and pretty much everything else media related. My name is Joe Greller. Yes, all of it. My name is Joe Greller. I'm one of the Three Wise Guys. Joining me are the Two Wise Guys, Garret Welker and Sam Pixley. We're officially into Comic-Con weekend, but good evening, gentlemen, because it's only Friday night.
Good evening, Joe.
It's a lot to... Yeah, shoot. It just started amping up.
Yes.
But we're going to push it back a little bit.
Right.
We're gonna wait till next week, right?
I mean, we'll do some tonight,
yeah,
we'll get it out for this week, and then we'll do some next week.
We'll do a little bit
That
of
works.
stuff, but like we'll save the bulk of it for next week.
Yeah, but basically, if it was released today and it catches our fancy, we can talk about it. Like, first and foremost, South Park had a whole big thing at San Diego this year, celebrating the 20 years of its show. Like,
has it really been 20 years?
It's been 20 years since it premiered this fall. So they had the South Park 20 exhibit, which they not only came to San Diego and previewed the new game, which, like the old game, said it will run exactly like an episode of the show, and I can vouch for that. The last one did, and it was marvelous.
Last one was great.
Yes.
I loved watching you play that. It was really fun.
They also had, like, set designs, like you could get your picture taken with the flying saucer, that fallen cows,
That's pretty cool.
aliens, anything that was like
In the show.
Yeah, scenery or set designs in the show.
It's a refreshing little, like, divergence from the rest of the stuff that's going on.
Yeah, like, you didn't see that at Comic-Cons in the past, and like that would be something that like would bring me to Comic-Con. Like, this is the only place.
Well, if it weren't
that
for the video game, I don't think they would have done something.
I agree as well.
But still, it's good of them to not just be purely, this is our video game, but also like, hey, let's celebrate
Yeah.
20 years of
This
political and social satire and all that jazz.
still staying relevant.
Absolutely. What else is coming out of Comic-Con right now?
Big ones so far have been all the Netflix stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the Netflix stuff hit. I was most impressed by the Defenders trailer, even though it wasn't anything.
Hey, was it a Defenders trailer, or was that the teaser that we watched?
It's a teaser.
Okay.
It's the
Yeah, I think
teaser.
that's
They don't
the
show
teaser-
anything, but then Stick says something at the very end.
Oh, I don't
Gotcha.
think that's the one we watched.
Oh, that is not the one we watched then. Garrett and I watched one that was just like, these are our shows, and it was like Daredevil,
no.
Jessica Jones, and some Luke Cage footage.
So
that
the Defenders one is just spelling out Defenders, but they take like the D out of the symbol of Daredevil, and it's like maps of New York and stuff, and things are being ripped, and it puts together like a weird cropping of the word Defenders, and then at the very end you hear Stick Thank you, Lando. Thank you for that collar. You hear stick, and he just voices over, and he just says, "You four think you're gonna save New York? You can barely save yourselves." And then it just goes, "Defenders." It's gonna be dope, especially.
Do you think they put that line in there because it's just like the Avengers? This ain't a team. This is we're a time bomb or something like that. Or
No, I don't.
It's very similar.
Well, I guess. What impressed me also with did you watch the Luke Cage trailer?
Yeah.
I've seen
It's more like a clip of him just walking through a building,
Yes.
just destroying people.
Yes.
I loved it. It felt though very like almost not. I'm trying to find a way to describe it because I think what Netflix is doing a really good job. It's not like blaxploitation, but it does have a very like Harlem vibe of like this is a very different like almost 70s kind of like feel to it with the music and everything, and I just think they're doing a really good job of giving you extremely different experiences with the shows, which makes me so excited for how they bring it all together in Defenders.
And then that should be how it is.
Yeah, that's how Luke Cage should be, you know. But I saw the footage and it looks so good.
I just want him to take the hoodie off.
I think he will
needs
eventually.
to take the hoodie off and put on his tiara.
You want the tiara?
No, he should not have that.
Also,
are you wanting the chain?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, the Netflix stuff, they finally confirmed a third season of Daredevil.
Yep.
Got picked up because they were waiting on that.
Yes, sir.
Which makes me happy because now I'm finally convinced that this next season they will do
Bullseye?
Yes.
Probably.
Please.
Like,
please.
Like Wilson Fisk is coming back out eventually, you know, so he's going to hire Bullseye. Elektra's dead, so, you know, she's going to come back and all this other stuff. It's going to make for a great season.
And Iron Fist got a little one, too.
I didn't watch that one. I saw like screenshots.
Picture,
yeah.
There wasn't much. It was just, hey, here's this guy, and
don't forget
he's got martial arts and a little bit of magic-ish or something, or chakras or what have you.
Don't forget we're still doing that one too, basically.
Eventually.
Lando, you can't go that way.
But they did say, the show creators did say that there's more villains in that show than any other Netflix show they've done so far. Yeah. So
I loved how on the Defenders, I guess it was just like the generic Netflix thing that they showed, but the one that me and Joe saw, it's like they had this whole like detailed thing of Luke Cage and Daredevil and Jess Jones, and then after like they showed out like Jess Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, like it was just like a 5-second clip of Punisher at the very end of it all, and just like, hey guys,
I'm still here, just so you know.
Still killing people.
Who knows? Am I finally going to show up with that Gatling gun?
How violent and like out there do you want the Punisher series to be that will come to Netflix? Like, especially like in corresponding with like these other shows. Like, do we want to go full on Punisher Warzone? Because from what I was hearing, and I've done some research in the Punisher the past week, that is the most well-received movie amongst comic book fans.
Really?
Yes. Like, I didn't realize that. Like, the director, she did an interview on Fat Man on Batman, and they were and she was talking about how that Lionsgate basically sabotaged the release and it was pushed back to December. And I remember that, and I remember seeing it, but it was also after some things that had happened in my life, and I fell asleep during the movie because I was awake for like 48 hours before going into the movie.
Well, that was stupid.
Yes, it was. But I remember like kind of liking it. And then I haven't seen it since because it's never on TV. It's never like on Netflix. But apparently, like, this is like one of the few movies that, like, Patton Oswalt has ever given like a perfect review to.
Well, if Patton Oswalt loves it,
well, I mean, he's a very vocally entertainment guy to where,
and
like,
he's well versed in comics and everything.
He's well nerd versed. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's going to be an escalation thing. I think it's going to be him establishing himself wherever he's going to be, and then I don't think he's going to be brutal right off the bat. I think it'll kind of be still like feeling out the place and not wanting to kill people and kind of maybe starting to think, hey,
maybe I shouldn't be a bad guy.
Or maybe I shouldn't be bad guy, but I don't have to kill everyone. And then it turns into,
nope,
oh,
kill
by
everyone.
The way, I forgot I do have to kill everyone. I didn't put this skull on my shirt for no reason, Joe.
True, you did not. Switching over to some of the DC side, see the first Wonder Woman poster?
Looks real schmexy.
So good.
Looks bright and vibrant. Those colors.
She's going to be bright and vibrant. If you saw all of her EW covers.
Oh, it was great.
We talked about it.
We talked about it last week. It was great.
She looks stunning. I think it's a good, simple poster. I mean, I'm not going to say the movie's going to be great based off that poster. Hopefully we'll get a trailer.
That'd be great.
We could get a teaser within the next 2 days.
Yeah. New Injustice trailer featuring Wonder Woman
And
Blue Beetle, and a little bit of Grodd.
A little bit of Grodd and Atrocitus. Yeah. I think that game's going to be a hoot.
Oh, it's so good. I'm so excited.
I like it because it seems like they have more, and it's not a big deal in the game, but when they show up actually talking to each other as specific individuals.
Yeah. So excited. So excited.
Which I think is super cool. We'll play that game, Joe.
Sure.
I can finally get rid of my original Injustice. Still have it. Haven't played it in a while. It's one of the few. No, it's a great game, but it's like PlayStation 4. But the thing is, it's not worth it, or it's still worth a good amount of money.
Yeah,
because it's a great game.
So some other news though out of Comic-Con. Did you guys see this? Like, I find this funny. So Rihanna got cast in the last season of Bates Motel.
Yes.
What?
As a pretty iconic character.
What? I don't know who she is, but
Okay, so have you ever seen the movie Psycho, Garret?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know Psycho and Bates Motel, but like
Right. No.
That's why
I
I'm
mean,
just
that's
like,
fine. Yeah.
what?
Rihanna, actually, huge Star Trek fan, huge Psycho fan.
Huge
Didn't
Psycho
know.
fan.
Didn't know.
So she's going to be in the last season of Bates Motel, which I'm glad. Like, that show should only have a...
As Norman.
Yeah, like, no, not as Norman. Like, that show should only have a set amount of seasons.
Yeah,
since
it's got to... Something's got to give.
Right.
Yeah.
So I watched the first season. I liked it. It's on my Netflix. Now that it's ending, I may go back finally and just crash through them all.
Have you watched the whole thing?
I've only watched the first
Okay,
season.
then never mind. I won't go into deets.
But she's apparently been cast as Maureen Crane, who is the character who opens the Psycho movie, who you follow to Bates Motel and dies.
Interesting.
Wonder if that's how... Is she cast as... Did they say the extent of her casting?
They did not. They
So
just
it
said
could
that
be
she is
like
that's
that's the
who she
finale.
is, and she will be in the final season.
That's still too...
It's still a little
He's still too young.
right.
Unless they want to say, like... Unless the last episode they do, like, a years later. Like, 2 years later or whatever, 3 years later. But still, why?
I don't know. I do think 5 seasons is enough.
Do you think she'll come out with a music video for her Psycho
Oh yeah,
portrayal?
of course.
Do it. I want it. There's not enough music video tie-ins. We still need to do our other ones.
You want to...
I want you to watch
record
the
while we're
Gotham
doing it so
City
badly.
R. Kelly one, because
We'll see
I
if we
don't
can
think
plug
you
it
know
in.
how ridiculous it
Once
is.
the move happens.
I didn't.
We'll be
remember.
moving studio. Two
We
different
will.
studio. By studio, I mean apartment.
But not a studio apartment.
Not a studio apartment. An apartment with a studio. And by, I mean, it's some room in the living room. Right on.
And that's all there is on Comic-Con so far.
Is that it?
I mean, that's all I've got.
King Kong poster.
King Kong poster?
There's the Unleash the King or something like that.
Dang, I was kind of hoping it was Unleash the Kong.
No, but I did like the post. Like, it's pretty bland. It's just a guy standing on a Kong skull, and there's an even bigger King Kong behind him. Oh, but what I like...
So are they staying on something like Skull Island, where Kong is from, or is it like...
Yeah, they're on Skull Island. But
Okay.
there's going to be multiple There's going to be multiple gorillas, and I believe he's the king.
But he is standing on a...
He's standing on a Kong skull.
Okay.
Yeah, and
But
there's a
not
bigger
the Kong
King
skull.
Kong. Like standing. The thing that I liked is, and I doubt they did this on purpose, but the big build-up is to the inevitable, possibly not going to happen, Godzilla vs. King Kong. And do you remember how in the marketing for Godzilla, it was like they used the guys with the red flares,
Yeah.
like all over the place? Well, this one is just that one guy is standing there and he's holding up a green flare. And for some reason, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but I like the juxtaposition that like this is in the same universe. People are using flares.
Do we have confirmation of the same universe because of flares?
Oh no, it is the same universe.
Okay.
I mean, it has to be if they're gonna fight each other. I thought it was kind of. I didn't know if they did it on purpose. I like the idea of like, hey, red, green,
Sure,
things
I like
go
that.
against each other. Hopefully,
Yeah.
they're gonna beat each other up.
Like Christmas.
Yeah, there's lots of violence in Christmas.
Oh, I know.
Most violent times of the year, I believe.
Krampus.
That and just human tendencies
Yeah.
to be horrible to each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, now that's all at the con.
Why, laddie, you strap on your kilt and listen to Three Wise Radio.
But on our latest stop of the movie train, we saw Ghostbusters in an attempt to get out of cartoon child hell. We panicked and thought that if we picked another cartoon, we'd be only seeing cartoons from now till eternity. So we grasped on to the first thing that we saw.
That wasn't.
That was not. We weren't thrilled about it, if you remember.
Yeah.
But first impressions, it wasn't bad like I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, like,
It wasn't great.
I mean,
I would go
it's
so far
obviously-
to say it wasn't good.
Oh, seriously? Like, I would say it was good. I liked everything except the end fight got a little Batman and Robin-y to me, where it was let's just keep introducing new gadgets for toy's sake. But other than that, like, I thought it was good.
I thought it was okay.
But the girls were good?
Some of the girls were good.
Okay.
Some of the girls were good. Some of the girls, one of the girls, Melissa McCarthy, was horrible.
Really?
I didn't care for her at all. Where do we want to start? Because I'll start there.
I mean, yeah, let's start with
the ladies.
Yeah, start with the main people. I didn't mind Melissa McCarthy. Like, did I like her character? No, but I thought that was more of a thing of I could see these four people hanging out together. And if you ever see a group of 4 men, 4 women, whatever it is, there might be that one person who's like, you're just a little snot and I don't like you.
Yeah, I
So
suppose.
as far as like the core group dynamic, like I can see what you mean.
Well,
I did not like her character, but by the same token, it made sense to me within the story.
Well, I thought it was Kristen Wiig was supposed to be kind of the straight man,
Yes.
but she was way funnier than Melissa McCarthy was, and that might just be my bias against her. But like, I just didn't think anything. Like, I don't care about her not getting wontons. Like, that joke was stale the first time it was told.
I actually was talking to Hannah about this whenever I got home from the movie. Like, we didn't really get a lot of fatty fall down jokes, which I'm glad we didn't. You know, like, that's good. That, like,
Yeah, we got the one.
But I feel like they could have either played off the fact that her character loves food better, or just not done that. You know, like, they could have passed that on to another character. But I agree that was just like a very stale joke. Like, they just pushed too hard for it, and yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, she wasn't. She didn't do it for me. Kristen Wiig was Kristen Wiig, which is you're always going to get a decent performance. She was good. Exactly who I thought was going to be my favorite was Kate McKinnon.
Oh yes, by far.
She was very physical and just quite funny. It got to be a little much at times. I felt a little forced.
The one that felt forced to me, there's a scene where she's dancing around with blowtorches.
Yeah.
That one felt like, okay, I got scared at that moment because that's fairly early on too. And I was
I'm
like,
a quirky person.
We're going
Look
to
at
shove
me.
this down her throat. But then it went away. And they just let her go naturally being excited about building things or building the machines.
Yeah, I thought she was really strong. I was also nervous about, was it Leslie Jones?
Yeah.
I was nervous about what her character was going to do because you got a lot of reports that she wasn't going to be great. I thought she was okay.
Yeah.
What a lot of reports that I had heard is she played just a very stereotypical black woman, and that's what I had heard from a few sources, but I didn't get that at all.
And I didn't get that at all either.
No. She was just a loud. She was a stereotypical loud New Yorker.
Yes.
Which, there you go. But I
Which
thought
is
it was
what she
kind
was
of
supposed
cool.
to be.
I thought it was kind of cool that, like, her story, she added to the team because she knew a lot about New York because she worked at the Metro and just sat downstairs and read all the time because there was nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So I thought the characters were definitely a strong point. I think it wasn't, but the story was good too. I don't know what it was for me. It was just like, it just wasn't.
I feel like there wasn't a lot of antagonist development. He was just suddenly like, I hate the world. I'm going to bring about the apocalypse.
Okay,
It's like,
yeah, but I was going to bring that up too. There's an antagonist in this though. There's normally not an in the other two Ghostbusters movie. There's not an antagonist who's set upon trying to destroy
Bring about something.
Yeah,
Zool.
but you don't see Zool until the final act.
Whereas you do see
Like
this
there are
guy.
just ghosts. Where this guy you see from the beginning dropping
There's not
things.
an overarching
Yes.
antagonist.
Okay.
I
Now
got you.
maybe in the second one the picture's kind of maneuvering thing, but like he just zaps one dude and then like that dude does his bidding.
Yeah.
Like it's still the picture at the end who, when you finally see, is manipulating things.
Gotcha.
Like here was a dude from the start, which was a little different in a Ghostbusters film to me. You manipulating events from the start, where it's like, hey guys, this is it. They will be battling this man.
You could also argue that that's because audiences have been dumbed down.
Could.
That's another thing that I kind of noticed was, and I was listening to a podcast. Well, not a podcast; it's a radio show that I enjoy. And one complaint that people got from this, which I kind of agree, is that the first Ghostbusters. I mean, you have to compare them. The first Ghostbusters wasn't always laugh, 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 laugh. I felt like this movie tried to get a joke in every 10 seconds. Like if there wasn't something funny happening, they didn't know what to do. So like there's got to be some kind of reaction. There's got to be some kind of goofball moment, or there's got to be quick. Let's have her step in goop again because we need something funny to happen.
Yes.
We can't have a plot. We don't have time for a plot. We got to have something goofy happen. So that maybe that's what it was. It just got a little exhausting in terms of the ha-has.
I can see that.
And the joke that I thought was the funniest joke in the whole movie, nobody in my theater laughed at. But I don't want to spoil it. It was one of the things that Dweeby guy said in the very beginning of the movie. It was one of the first lines. I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
We'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it all over after once we are off.
But I died laughing, and the other 8 people in that theater did not find it funny at all. So it's a shame. I mean, story. Did we like the story?
Yeah, I like the story. I mean, look, this isn't a masterpiece of a film by far. There's a couple times where if you thought Batman vs Superman jumped to conclusions, that this one definitely does as well. But that's okay. Like, I didn't go into this looking at a masterpiece of a film. I went into this looking to laugh, looking to see a little bit of action adventure and a little bit of supernatural, like the old Ghostbusters movie, and I thought this delivered on all 3. Like, I would highly recommend checking this out. Like, listen, it's not going to stay in theaters for a long time, but if you have one of those, like, older theaters, I have coffee brewing. Okay. I have one of those like older theaters that like shows a show for like $5 or less. Go see it there.
I spent $8 and I was okay with it, but I don't think I'll see it again.
No, but I would watch this on HBO. I was thinking like when it's on HBO, I will keep this on when it's on.
Here's something we didn't talk about, and this may be a little polarizing. What did we think of Kevin?
I love Chris Hemsworth in that role. I thought he was really good. He walks in, he has no lenses in his glasses, and immediately starts rubbing his eyes. And
but see, that's the thing. They committed to that joke.
Right.
Whereas the wonton joke was not funny. They committed to that. Anytime there was anything loud, he would grab his eyes.
I'm glad they addressed it because I remember the moment that they got a close up on his face and you could see that there was no lenses. I looked at Joe and was like, Joey, I don't think there's lenses in his glasses. And then they like immediately afterwards they addressed it, and I was like, good. All right.
It was over the top, but it was just he's so charismatic that you're like, sure, okay. I loved the line where you see it in the trailer. Eventually, he becomes a bad guy.
Right.
So I loved the line when they're like, "Hey, easy there, Clark Kent," and he's like, "Clark Kent, why? Oh, because of the glasses and the handsomeness." he
needs to be in more funny things.
He was sold. Yeah, he bought into it and he went for it, which was good. Thoroughly enjoyed that. You didn't like the fight scene at the end?
I didn't mind it, but it did make me long for the days of trap them with the proton packs, throw a trap under them, release them, instead of like re-kill ghosts. And I'm like,
but were they killing them? No, they were just like throwing them around
into the dust,
into the ecto dust that they just came from. Like,
well, but that's the thing is like the explosives and the shredder and things that they used took them out.
Yeah, that made sense.
But the other ones they just kind of like whipped away. I did love, again, just bias towards McKinnon when she pulled out her dualies.
Yeah.
And started going like, that was great because I thought she's just so good at being funny that I think if anybody else had done that, it wouldn't have worked.
No.
Yeah, a lot of it is in the delivery. Okay, so I think we're all in agreement. Like, don't rush out. You don't have to like break the bank to see it, but if you get a chance, definitely watch it.
See it during a matinee.
Yeah, it's not nearly worth the hate that it was getting.
3D?
No.
We didn't see
3D.
No.
You don't need it.
Yes. Did you go see 3D?
No.
Okay,
but I know you don't need it. No. I saw every shot that would have been like, oh, 3D. There's a ghost coming at you. It happened like 3 times. Not worth it.
No, I would definitely would agree. I don't understand why this movie got so much negative hate. After seeing it, like,
great use of cameos too from the original cast.
Yeah, it was good.
And I was worried they weren't going to do one, and then they finally throw one in the credits. So I was worried about that.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed the acknowledgement of the hate mail that they got.
Right.
But they only did it once.
Right. And that was perfect.
Bitches don't be catching no ghost. Was that what it was?
Yes.
It's like, no, not that comment. That was really well handled.
Yes.
I just don't. I don't agree with all the negative hate that this movie got, or that like Leslie Jones got. Like,
right.
None of that was warranted.
No, it's a good summer blockbuster, I think.
Sure. And I think it comes back. It comes back to people being worried about the things that like power. Everybody makes a big deal about power, and like things that you hold close to your heart. And this is, I mean, I don't put it in my top
I'm with
50
you.
comedies of all time, but a lot of people put Ghostbusters as their number one comedy ever. And so, I mean, you're going to hit scrutiny.
Yeah. And I will admit, like, I was rewatching the original and 2 on AMC a couple weeks ago because they've been re-showing them. Yeah. And I hadn't seen them because I finally was like, no, like I was avidly ignoring those movies for a long time. Kind of had the Anchorman effect, as I like to call it, where I guess I saw it so much when I was little that after not seeing it for a long period of time, I was like, oh, this is why it's good. Okay, I forgot about it. The things that used to annoy me now I find funny again. Mm-hmm. So, all right, so definitely check it out. Trailer, Sam. You are the only person with trailers. What is ours and Natalie once she hops back on this train's fate?
She missed the train. It's a bummer. Let me see. You know what? The hard part was I was watching these trailers and I was like, shit, I want to see all of these movies.
Oh, okay.
Not all of them. First one, A Monster Calls. Have you guys seen that? It's about a kid. He's having some trouble, like a troubled life. I think his mom is sick, like super sick, so she sends him to live with a mean person or something, and he draws like this monster, and the monster comes to life, I think it's probably going to be like a mental manifestation of him actually like growing into himself and becoming a young adult or something like that. But like it's played by Liam Neeson. It looks like a giant monster Groot, and it's like the kid's really upset, and he's like, "Hey, monster, I want you to tear down these windows or whatever." And he's like, "Tear them down yourself." And it's I think it's just kind of like a growth story of how to step in your own shoes.
Good
you guys
cast.
Should watch the trailer. It looks really strong.
Sigourney Weaver, Felicity Jones, Toby Kebbell, Liam Neeson. Yeah. All right.
Wow. We'll check. I want to check these out with you guys because it looks pretty cool. The second one, Florence Foster Calls. This was Meryl Streep. Or no, not Meryl Streep. Who's the other old lady? That sounds so rude. Not Judi Dench.
I was about to say Judi Dench.
Is it Meryl Streep? Who's the other one besides Helen Mirren? No, it's Meryl Streep. It's for sure Meryl Streep.
What's the title of the movie?
Florence Foster Calls. She plays based on a true story. I hope it's not a true story because it sounds dumb. It's a lady who spent her entire life wanting to be a singer, and she's horrible at singing. And so
it's Meryl Streep.
Yeah, her husband is a concert guy, and she puts together a big show. So she's eventually playing at Carnegie Hall for the troops, and everybody knows that she sucks. But it's like, it's not how you sing; it's how much heart you put into it. And I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah, let's not see this because we'll talk about this via Oscars. $10 she gets nominated for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's the thing. I hated every second of it. I hate the whole. It's what you put into it. Like, no, if you don't sing well, I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear you sing Ding Dong. I don't care how Meryl Streep you are.
Is it based on the old lady, like not the ugly lady from Britain's Got Talent or whatever?
No, it's not based on her. This was based this was a while. It's during a war.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I'm sure she's a lovely lady as far as personality goes.
Susan
Boyle.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's nice. I'm just saying.
I dreamed a dream.
There was that was the shtick with her.
So there's a new Bridget Jones movie.
Yes, I knew that.
Oh, pass.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. No.
She's pregnant. Great. Sully with
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
I kind of want to see that.
Looks good. And that's probably just because of Tom Hanks.
I have seen the trailer for that. Have you seen the trailer for that, Garrett? Okay, it's basically the real life event meets Flight.
So it's like he crash lands, and then it's also all the stuff you don't see, where like the airplane company is you're familiar with The Flight, right? Advance of the Husband, where it's like the airplane company's coming after him, trying to dig up anything from his past. Be like, it's not our aircraft. You messed up. You could have landed. And so it's just kind of how his entire life they're trying to tear his whole life apart, so that no one has to take responsibility and they can just pin it on him. And he's like, I've been flying airplanes for 40 years, and my entire life is boiling down to 209 seconds. And it just looks very good, and Tom Hanks is Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
So instantly compelling. That looked great. What else do we have? Peregrine's Peculiar Children house thing. which looked kind of, it's like an X-Men, like the kids are, it's like
X-Men for kids?
X-Men meets series of unfortunate events kind of artistically.
This is the one with Eva Green?
Yeah.
Eva Green and Sammy Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sammy J.
I think it's Sammy G.
Yeah.
And by Sammy G, I mean Sammy J, because of spelling. But yeah, I just think the trailer looks better than the premise builds up for. Some of the creatures look really interesting, but I don't think that's that high on the list. Two more. Holly Lynn's Long Halftime Walk.
What?
Which is the first movie that I found. Like the first war movie, like post-war movie that I found really interesting. It's this guy who's in there. Something crazy happened in his battalion, and it's his walk during like the Super Bowl. They put him up there to honor him, and it's those guys standing up there. But then it pulls out, and you see like there's like a faux Beyonce or someone singing the halftime show, and you just see that like there's fireworks going off and explosions, and like these military guys like there's explosions going on. We don't like this. Like, we don't really want this. And then it boils down to, it shows scenes from whatever happened that day and whatever the historic event was that he partook in. And it just boils it down to, and some guy tells him, like, this isn't your story anymore. This is America's story now. Like, it's not about what you've been through. It's not about your emotional standing. It's about what America was able to do today. So you have to embrace that. And it's just him coming home, and his sister, his older sister's played by Kristen Stewart, who actually looks really good in this. And it's just like him handling like that. The worst day of my life is what I'm being honored for now every day. Like my entire life now is going to be based on the worst day of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy. It looked good though. It looked really good. A new actor performing. I don't know. I've never seen him in anything, and they said introducing him. Yeah, it looks really strong. Very impressive.
Okay. And then what was our last one then?
The last one was Tom Hanks again in Inferno.
Inferno. That's my vote. I love the Dan Brown novels.
And it looks so good, except it has kind of that vibe where they're trying to step into the future, where there's like drones chasing him, and
my vote's for Inferno.
I knew it would be. The second it popped up, I was like, Tom Hanks again? Well, Joe's been decided for. I mean, my vote, you guys can figure out, but my votes go for Monster Call, Sully, or Inferno, just because that's a little more... I'll see the other ones by myself, but I don't think we need to do an in-depth review of a deep movie like that. That's not really our scene, gentlemen.
Not really, no, but it does sound like a good movie.
Yeah, I'm going to see it. It looks impressive.
I'll vote for Inferno.
Inferno. Yeah.
This is the third movie then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to watch
Dante's Inferno. It's not a story.
I own
it's
Angels
a prophecy.
and Demons, and I'm pretty sure Da Vinci Code's been on Netflix for like ever.
I watched Da Vinci Code.
Rally. They're great movies.
I've watched Da Vinci Code. I just haven't watched Angels and Demons.
Okay.
So
and there's yet another young lady just going around with him. If you didn't know, this one is based on Dante's Inferno, but the Inferno is actually a prophecy of a plague, which turns into a virus that's going to wipe out half the planet. An apocalyptic event, and the only one who can save them, Robert Langdon.
Oh, this will be great. It's in October. This will be perfect for October.
When is it? October
14th?
Are you gone in October?
No, I'll actually just be getting back that day.
Sweet Jesus.
Well, I mean, that's a Friday, and
I
we
mean,
normally
like,
put the cast out on a Monday, so mathematically
so
that
we
works.
get a nice 3-month break from the movie Train.
I mean, I just didn't want it to be like on a time I'm going to be out of town to record, you know.
Ah, gotcha.
So Inferno it is, though?
Yeah.
Inferno it is.
I'm down for some Inferno.
Hell yeah.
I'll even think if we want
just
to
Tom Cruise hair though, or just Tom Hanks hair in this one though.
Right.
Just regular Tom Hanks hair, none of that.
Boof. That Nick Cage bird hair going on.
Yeah. Birds don't have hair. It's funny.
Oh man, we should even do a lead up episode if we want, like talking about the first two movies.
Hey,
because those movies
I'm on board.
are very interesting.
Those movies are good.
I'm down. Let's do that.
The only movies that I would argue Tom Hanks is completely interchangeable with Nick Cage.
Yes. Oh yes. Yes. Yes.
Those movies are classy National Treasure movies. That is exactly what those are.
Wait, they're not sequels? I thought it was the same character. It's just
you could.
They are though.
But I never thought about that either. You could do Hanks could do National Treasure, yeah. And like,
I would love to see that if they did a switch, like National Treasure 3 was Tom Hanks, and
then Cage plays Dan Brown.
Cage plays Dan Brown's character in whatever movie's sure to come.
Dr. Langdon,
But they didn't address any of it.
And they both got the...
Yep. The only thing matching is just that hair. And then they run into each other.
The new face-off!
That'd be... I would watch the shit out of those two teaming up and just hair just walking just so coiffed, and I'd watch that all the time.
Who owns these Disney and Sony. Sony, you need money, man. Convince Disney to sell you the national treasure rights.
Please. Joe, I can almost guarantee you that no one has ever sat down into a boardroom and says, we need money. How do we get Tom Hanks and Nick Cage together now?
Well, they're going to now.
They would now.
That'd be...
If this movie makes money, there is no reason for that meeting not to take place.
I mean, there's no reasons that we believe are valid, but definitely reasons that people in the business believe are valid.
Yeah.
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 Hot damn.
3 wise. 3 wise.
Radio.
Okay, so since we need a topic for this week because we're recording a little early and we only got like the Friday of Comic-Con, I suggested, since Batman vs. Superman, the director's cut, came to DVD, well, sort of. Sam can tell that story if he wants to. No. That we would actually do an event called Batmen vs. Supermen. Now, I'll get to that in a second, but Sam, do you want to talk about your director's
debacle.
Oh.
cut DVD experience of Batman vs. Superman?
Just briefly, I mean, no.
No?
Stupid WB decided to put the extended cut on the 4K version, which not many people have 4K DV, or on the stupid ultraviolet, which again nobody uses, edition. But in the Blu-ray, it's just the regular version. So I ended up buying the thing because I wanted to give them my money, and then watching it in a way that was... We won't say that I illegally downloaded this movie after buying the movie, but that's exactly what happened. Just so that I could watch the thing.
Yeah.
But I gave my money, so you come and get me.
That is true. You paid for the product. You
I
just
paid
couldn't
the
get...
full price for the best one that I could find.
You heard it here, folks. When illegal downloading is technically legal. Just claiming what's yours.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
What a bunch of ding-dongs.
Okay, so because of this, though, I thought we would do a topic called Batmen vs. Supermen, in which we take various Batmen and various Supermen around from the same era, and we put them together and see who could get the other to scream Martha first. So, the same rules apply. They're still within that battle arena that you see in Batman vs. Superman, which is, I think, the broken down Gotham Hospital, right?
Okay.
Is that what that was, I believe?
Arkham
Sure.
Asylum-esque thing.
Okay.
Abandoned building.
Abandoned building. So
because
it's still...
the work week is over.
Yeah, it is still there. Okay, so this is that is still that battleground.
Okay.
Now, the Batmen have all the equipment that were available to them while they were Batmen. So, for example, Keaton has basically just that sad old Alfred, while Kilmer has an inexperienced Chris O'Donnell, and Clooney has Chris O'Donnell and Alicia Silverstone.
So they do have these. Okay, see, this is what I was going to ask. Can we add a sidekick into each?
You can add whatever they had to their
Perfect.
to their thing. So so Superman normally is by himself, but there is a Superman who has sidekicks eventually.
Right.
That I'll get to.
But you can only use them if it's that Superman.
Correct.
Right on.
So for the first one is going to be Adam West versus George Reeves. So George Reeves has both the color and black and white costume, so he can adapt the environment around him. He has that superpower too. He can change from colorless to colors. So
Right
I'm going
on.
with that.
Luckily, Adam West doesn't have any technology that would be inhibited by a change in area, so perfect.
Exactly. And Adam West has Burt Ward as Robin. He's got Aunt Harriet at his
Damn
side.
it,
if
that's
he
what I was
needs
going
it.
to say is the get out of jail free card. Aunt Harriet.
He's got Aunt Harriet at his side, and he's got his weird...
All kinds of sprays.
Shark repellent.
Okay, so
8,000 pound back computer?
8,000 pound back computer. I was going with his weird Alfred as well. I couldn't think of how to describe it.
Does he have an inept mayor? Yeah.
All the Batmen have an inept mayor.
Yeah. Confirmed.
So,
All right.
So let's do
so how, in my opinion, this first battle takes place is very much the same way that the battle in the movie takes place, where George Reeves is just landing angry, only he's not angry because his mom's been kidnapped. He's angry because he's still Superman. And he can't get out of being Superman. If you've seen Hollywoodland, you know what I'm talking about. So Ben Affleck is still in this scene as well. Because Ben Affleck once played George Reeves.
Awesome.
In the movie.
No, that's too meta.
Okay, never mind then. But anyway.
All right, so we want to get into this?
But he's very... However, instead of kryptonite, Adam West doesn't have kryptonite. Because I don't think George Reeves ever came into contact with kryptonite in his show.
Adam West wouldn't have it.
But what Adam West does have is anti-Superman spray repellent.
Right. Effective at 0 meters.
Yes. So he can spray and get Superman away from him much the same way that you would see like the dust of kryptonite anytime you saw in the movie. All
right. I know this isn't a great way to start this off, but I believe that this battle ends immediately. Because I don't think there's an episode of Batman 66 that doesn't involve Batman and Burt Ward standing side by side while Burt Ward twiddles his fingers trying to figure out something. So I think at this point, they're twiddling their fingers trying to figure out what that guy is, and that guy, so ready to not do this anymore, just kills him. And does kind of from Batman vs. Superman, where he flies right by as if Burt Ward is Lois Lane and just kills Batman. Burt Ward still twiddling his fingers, not knowing what has happened. And that's how that fight ends.
Holy cut in two, Batman!
There is no...
What, Robin? Look at us, we're full of holes, you know? Holy!
Yep.
All right,
I don't think there's any other way this goes.
Wow.
I'll buy it. Adam West would definitely gargle Martha first, or maybe Harriet. I don't know.
Oh, it's too late for that. I'm trying to think of a way Adam West comes out of this, and
there isn't.
There's no way. There's no feasible way.
Also, the most out of shape superhero fight ever.
Yeah, it's brawn, sheer brawn.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
All right, I'll take that. You want to move on to the next one?
I got nothing for Adam West. I mean,
all right, flawless victory. All right, so for the second one, it's Christopher Reeves versus Michael Keaton. So you have Christopher Reeves Superman, a man so powerful that he can turn back time, is literally a god.
Right.
And then you have Michael Keaton, who's just kind of angry that he's Batman, I think. I don't know. But this is also possibly, other than Affleck, the most vindictive Batman. This is a man who will strap a bomb to you and then throw you out a window.
This is a Batman that would have kryptonite.
Oh, this is definitely a Batman that would have kryptonite. This is a Batman.
When he found out Superman happened, he aggressively pursued kryptonite.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No,
yeah. Yes, he did. Now, he's also got his gadgets. Like, he's got the bat plane that we saw in Batman the movie. He's got the bat boat, if he needs it, that we saw in Batman Returns.
Batmobile.
The Batmobile.
Of course.
So, if you... I know how this battle's going to end, but do you want to paint do either one of you want to paint a picture of how this is going to go down? This one has a surprise ending. I can already tell you how it's going to end.
Christopher Reeves is a really good guy, right?
Yes.
Okay, really good guy. He's not going to destroy it. He's not trying to get out of what he's doing.
See, he would be the Superman that would land and be like, okay, let me explain to you calmly.
Without walking you like a monster.
Yeah, like he would really be like, I'm going to step back now, Bruce. Here's what's happening. A man has kidnapped my mom.
This is the guy
I've already rescued her. Let's be friends.
He would land and be respectful enough to be like, look, Batman, I know who you are, so if you'd like me to use that name, I'll use that name. But we'll go with Batman out of respect. This is the situation that's happening.
He would.
How would you like to go about this? Right?
You're absolutely right.
Just the most
I think it would be
respectable guy.
So I think it would actually be like legitimately people think, but Keaton is so hell-bent on wanting to destroy this alien.
Oh, yeah.
That he's not listening and just attacks him right there.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So the same line would be uttered. Reeves would pretty much utter, if I wanted it, you'd already be dead already. and then
said
proves it.
If I wanted it, I would have stopped you by now. He's not going to kill anybody.
He's not even gonna hit him. He's just like, all right, you done yet? He's just gonna stand there taking his punches.
Yes, I think there does come a turning point, though. Do you
go
want
on.
to? I mean, the way that I think that this whole thing comes to an end is he keeps fighting, and Reeves tries to talk him down, and eventually Batman realizes that this isn't going to work, so he has laced a bundle of dynamite with kryptonite, hands it to Christopher Reeves, and blows him up. Because he's got that skill down.
If you want to go with that, yes, he does. That's how you want to go, that's fine. Here's how I think Superman wins that fight. Christopher Reeves wins that fight. Eventually, he gets so tired of the pummeling and stops. He's like, all right, Batman, look deep into my eyes. And he kisses him. And then Keaton forgets why he's there.
Does he forget why he's Batman?
Yes.
Oh.
He forgets everything, much like Reeves did at the end of Superman 2. Because you forget that this Superman has the power to kiss you and make you forget anything that happened in the last, 3 months.
He could also turn back time, save Bruce's parents, and be like, there you go, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. But does he do that before
Getting hit
the kryptonite-laced dynamite? What happens first, Garrett?
I honestly say the kryptonite with dynamite.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Just be so mad. So bitter.
Christopher
So
Reeve's
short.
Superman is so nice. He's like, I don't even want to kiss you just yet. Let's see if we can talk this down yet. And by this time, Keaton's already got the bomb. All right. That's fair. Okay.
All right. One and one.
1-1.
Right on.
Our next one, Val Kilmer. So he's got a very inexperienced Chris O'Donnell at his side.
So angsty. And then you have Dean Cain. Now Dean Cain might have Terry Hatcher hiding somewhere in the wings because she pretty much knew he was Superman from the get-go. So I'll allow a possible Lois Lane, considering his show was called Lois and Clark. The Adventures of
Lois and Clark, yes. So it was more of a love story than an actual Superman show. So same rules still apply. They land.
Well, how often is he dressed up like Superman? Because I think this is a situation where Dean Cain just walks out in a suit. How often is he in the Superman attire? If it's
least
less
once
than 75%,
Yes.
then he walks out in a suit and tie.
Okay, so this one actually walks out as Clark Kent.
Yes. I'm sorry. That's the way it starts.
You're fine. You're right. Actually, he probably doesn't even don the suit at all.
For the entirety of the
the entire of the fight.
What does he wear, once a season?
No. He wears it once. He wore it once an episode. He was always in it once an episode. Oh, yeah.
All right.
But the episode was probably split 90-10, unless it was a big episode, in which case maybe you got 50-50. But yeah, he was in that. You're right. He was in the Clark Kent outfit so much that in the Doomsday storyline, I kept wondering when Superman was going to quit pummeling on this monster, go back as Clark Kent for a bit.
Is there a Doomsday storyline?
No, just because the Doomsday comic happened while the show was on. Oh. And those were my only two versions of Superman that I knew at that time. So I kept wondering, why is he not going back as Clark Kent to figure out stuff about this monster instead of just keep pummeling him? Awesome. I was a very young and naive.
You're just a boy.
7-year-old or something like that. So we have Dean Cain dressed in Clark Kent. We have Val Kilmer, who chooses to be Batman because he chooses to be haunted by the visions of his. So that is Dean Cain's defense against him. He's already done work into Bruce's past and is like, hey,
Does he already know?
He knows because he's a reporter. So we probably had 30 plus minutes leading up to this fight of just him doing reporting.
So he's figured out that he's Brucey boy.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
And you got Kilmer having horrible flashbacks of his parents' murder. Yeah. So, which is really hindering him to become full-on menacing Batman.
Right.
This is going to be the most boring fight. I'm not going to lie.
No, I totally would agree with that.
And that's surprising when you figure out what our next fight is. That this is still probably going to be the most boring fight. They might play a chess match. I'm not sure. There is not really much that's going to happen on this one.
Do they? I mean, in this, do they just talk it out? And is this the one where they talk it out and don't fight? And he's just like, Bruce, I get it, man. You're in a bad place.
Yeah. Like,
You haven't hurt anybody, though, because Val Kilmer doesn't kill people, right?
he kills Tommy Lee Jones at the end.
But how does he kill him?
He flicks a quarter up when Jones, or he throws a bunch of quarters up when Jones flicks his quarter.
Right.
And it's over a ledge. Like, he knows what he's doing.
But does he, though?
He does, because he kills him for Robin. So Robin won't have to kill him.
Yeah.
But you know what? Everybody gets a second chance. So I think he just talks him down on this one. It's like, hey, you've killed somebody-ish.
So they end up bonding over the fact that
Yeah.
both their moms are named Martha through conversation.
Yeah, but they don't even. Yeah, they don't fight. Not a punch is thrown. He doesn't even start to
think about
unbutton
it, like-
his suit.
I don't think Val Kilmer really does a lot of fight scenes in that movie.
He doesn't. There's the one at the party. There's the one in the opening scene. And then that's it. There really is no fighting in the final scene, in the final climax.
It's more of like him hanging from the helicopter.
Yeah.
Him like outsmarting Riddler.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is just a mild-mannered discussion.
Yeah.
What Batman vs. Superman could have been if everybody weren't so angsty.
Pretty much.
All right.
All right, and that's going to surprise you because I'm saying our next one would be a full-out war because these people are bringing teams with them.
Oh, shit.
You have George Clooney versus Tom Welling.
Oh.
Oh, God.
So Tom Welling has like teen super team behind him.
He's got Baby Justice League.
Yeah, he's got Baby Justice League behind him, and you can pick whichever two you want. You can pick like the Bart Allen Kid Flash, the Thank God I'm Still Wearing Pants Aquaman, who's
they're all
really
there.
Thad Castle. Oh, they're all there for you?
They're all there.
They're all there? Okay.
Well, then Tom Welling.
And Tom Welling. And then you have George Clooney, who's got Alicia Silverstone and experienced angsty Chris O'Donnell on each side of him.
Just Chris O'Donnell.
No, he's got Alicia Silverstone as well as Batgirl.
No, Chris O'Donnell, not O'Donnell.
Ah.
I'm just saying, the man's a potato. He needs a little bit of respect.
I was wondering when that was going to come up.
You're right. I'm sorry. Fair.
He's been through enough.
So, Clooney, though, I don't think has any kryptonite. Because I don't think Clooney would be ever smart enough to know what...
He could buy some if he wants.
He could. You know what? He probably did buy some. He probably swankied his way and be like, hey, listen, let me tell you what I can do for you and you can do for me.
Back credit card.
Yeah.
I will also put it on you that I don't think he bought it knowing it was kryptonite. I think he just bought a thing. I was like, hey, cool.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Back card.
Keeping up appearances. This is an expensive thing. The lady likes it. He probably bought a lady a nice kryptonite necklace. Didn't even know it. So I don't think he has kryptonite.
All right. Oh, maybe that's what that... I think the gem was green. That's what that whole thing was with the ice and the diamonds or whatever.
See, there you go. So maybe
That was a kryptonite necklace.
Maybe he has a little bit, but doesn't know what it is.
Okay. So Tom Welling's already done then, because we know the moment that guy gets into kryptonite, he drops like a sack of rocks.
Or does it do nothing against him
True.
due to the inconsistencies of that television show?
Hey.
But either way, there's veins popping out of his hand. We know
True.
that much.
Very true.
There are definite vein exposures in his hand, and he's going to look somewhat a little sick.
True.
I don't know, man. I'm going to give this one to Tom Welling, especially since he's got
Baby Justice League.
Baby Justice League. I mean, just...
I don't know, man. I think that Impulse and Aquaman are immediately nullified because they're trying to hit on Alicia Silverstone the whole time.
Ooh, so would Oliver Queen.
So
Because
with
that
Oliver Queen, you're right.
Oliver Queen was very swanky.
And at the time that he was in those episodes, he wasn't with
Yeah.
Black Canary.
No, he winds up with Chloe.
Chloe.
I don't remember this show at all.
I have all 10 seasons, man. I'll catch you up anytime.
Trust
All right.
me, every guy in that Justice League would be hitting on Alicia Silverstone the whole time.
You're right, because they all think...
Wouldn't Chris
Because they
O'Donnell
all
be doing
slept
that
with
too?
Lois.
No, Chris didn't hit on her. Well, he did a little bit, but then he didn't.
Yeah.
So at this point, they're backed off.
Yeah, you're right. So so they set him up. Alicia Silverstone sets him up because they're hitting on him, and then Chris O'Donnell just comes through with the kryptonite necklace
or the motorcycle?
and motorcycle and just kills them.
So who's left? No, because I don't think Tom Welling goes for her.
Okay.
So I think so who else is in it? Who else is in Cyborg? I don't think Cyborg goes for her either.
No.
So it's Tom Welling and Cyborg versus George Clooney, who still has not done anything in this fight.
He may have played with his bat nipples a little bit.
Keep in mind, though, if this is a man that has bat skates, this is a man that's equipped for anything.
True.
Also, not knowing that Mr. Freeze was his enemy when he had the bat skates.
He had them already.
So he literally has an EMP built into his suit already. So Cyborg's out of it.
I think Clooney wins
Now it's Chris O'Donnell
versus
George Clooney.
and George Clooney versus Tom Welling,
Ooh.
I think
who at some point just falls into a batch of kryptonite on accident. Or is distracted by an annoying Lana Lang.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or he's late for the football
He's got
game.
Luther with him, and he thinks he's on his side, and then boom, betrayal happens halfway through the fight,
Which
it's
Luther?
Billionaire Boy Club. It's the normal Luther.
Lex?
Yeah.
Could be Lionel.
Could be Lionel. And which
Maybe, you know what? I bet Lionel's been watching this the whole time.
he just wanted to see how
Just
it all
to
ends.
see how it all ends. That's right. Callbacks to Smallville. So George Clooney beats Tom Welling.
Yes.
Wow.
We had Dean Cain beat Val Kilmer via discussion.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
that was a stalemate.
Which
You know what? I think we're perfect so far.
all right, which leads us to our last one then. Christian Bale versus Brandon Routh. Which I think this one's fairly quick.
Brandon Roth wins on every level. Intelligence, abilities, power.
Yeah.
Ooh, but does Kate Bosworth slow him down?
Kate Bosworth.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, she was Lois Lane.
Has a horrible Lois Lane. Because he's worried about her smoking habits.
No, he doesn't slow her down because if you remember, he's a very neglectful father in that movie.
True.
So like, he
Didn't
doesn't
know
even
he
know
was a
she
father.
exists, nor does he know about his child, or whatever. And Bale, even though he does murder, won't intentionally murder. He'll just accidentally murder.
Yeah.
So
So is it possible that what we thought was an uninhabited hospital, there's actually a wing of the hospital that is fully inhabited, and Christian Bale accidentally sets it on fire, causing Brandon Routh to have to save everyone, giving him enough time to do something.
ooh, that's a possibility. That is a
Just trying
possibility.
to think outside the box here.
No, I like it because my first question is going to be, since our joke about Christian Bale's Batman is always, I'm so vastly underprepared for this. And like, he would just die in any more than one. He is.
He would.
Would what?
He would die. He's so underprepared.
Christian Bale? Oh, he's got that robot leg.
That he never uses.
Yeah, it's because he's been saving it. It's been charging energy. It's a day.
So my question would have been, since this will let us come full circle, which Batman died quicker, Christian Bale or Adam West against their Superman?
Adam West. Adam West for sure. Yeah. Because George Reeves wanted out of there so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, what was the final tally?
So the first one goes to Superman.
Man.
Second one goes to Batman.
Yes.
Tie.
Third one is a tie.
Tie.
So we're still an even split.
All right.
Then it goes to Batman again. Then, God damn it.
Superman-
Then
did
it goes
we
to
tie?
Superman again. It's a tie. Son of
But
a
Batman
bitch.
won this one, so, the actual movie. So Batman wins.
All right.
We're not
fair.
counting this universe.
We aren't counting it, Steve. It's true.
Because we haven't seen how it ends up. We don't know who's got what friends so far. It would be a fucking tie.
Like Scoob! It's Three Wise Radio!
As usual, we like to end every episode with what's piquing our interest, where we just say what is piquing our interest. So many things could be piquing our interest because we're in the middle of Comic-Con weekend still.
Right.
So, Garrett, what is piquing your interest? You were prepared last week, and
I got 8 things.
I'm quite prepared. I was talking to Joe about this. So apparently the Divergent series is going to finish off as a TV movie,
Wah, wah, wah.
followed by a series that's unrelated to the movies.
That series ain't gonna happen.
Follow-up? None of the stars knew about that happening.
Really?
yes, they all found out once the story broke. And then
Damn.
we're at Comic-Con, we're supporting different projects like Shailene Woodley, and we're like, hey, what do you think about this? And she's like, I didn't know that.
That's
Damn.
what's piquing my interest.
Shock value. Ooh. Somebody fucked up.
Yeah. I honestly did not see this coming. We reviewed it, and it was
It was a bad movie.
It was a bad.
You think they cut the budget a bit and try and just finish with a little bit of dignity.
Right, like they'd Superman for it. Just cut it in half, pay the stars they need. Yeah, because the TV series is supposed to even focus on a new group of characters.
Yeah, it won't even be...
TV series isn't going to happen.
No.
It's not going to happen.
But the movie's not going to happen either, because that will still cost way too much for a TV movie.
Also, you're not going to get these actors.
No, and what station's going to do it?
Well, you tell Miles Teller, hey, you're going to be on TV now. Fuck that. I'm Miles Teller.
Yeah. I actually want to see his new boxing movie he's got coming out.
Me too. No, I want to see a lot of his new stuff. Yeah, the boxing movie looks real good.
With Aaron Eckhart, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not going to do that.
So, yeah, that's something. Sam, what's piquing your interest?
Piquing my interest, a good friend by the name of Brian Shilligo has been on the show before. He was on for our Star Wars episode.
As well as the Warcraft commentary.
Yes, true. He and his buddy have put together a YouTube series called Good Bad or Bad Bad. They kind of break down notoriously bad movies, and they try and see if they have any artistic merit. So Brian's a film major, so he brings lots of those elements and kind of shreds bad movies based on
whether they're actually being bad.
What should be good, and then breaks it down. So it's not just, this movie's so terrible. It's this movie's so terrible because of pacing or because of character development or things like that. So it's fun to get a little insight from someone that what you know is supposed to be right with it, and then you can break down even more why things are either bad or hilarious. And it's hilarious. They do a good job of integrating clips and things like that. So it's a very, very good series. I'd recommend checking it out.
Absolutely, yeah. I've subscribed to it on YouTube. It's really funny. What is piquing my interest is actually an older television show. In the BBC a few years ago, starring John Hamm and Daniel Radcliffe, A Young Doctor's Notebook was introduced to me. And the moment I turned it on, I binged through there's only 8 episodes in the entire. It was 2 series, 4 each, only half-hour episodes. I immediately went through the first 6 like that.
Oh, killed it. How long is an episode?
22 minutes.
Oh wow, so it's short.
Very short. You'll sit down and it's almost like 2-hour movies basically. And it's very good and it's extremely funny, especially if you like dark comedy. And I'm talking like Lord of War, Nicolas Cage, or A Clockwork Orange, dark comedy.
Okay.
So I
like Radcliffe and Hamm. That's an interesting.
It's such a good dynamic.
It really is
because they play the same character, but it's just like. You mainly see it from Radcliffe's perspective, but then John Hamm kind of chimes in.
They're the same character?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his older self reading his old notebook. And,
interesting.
And going back. Hamm, I was the executive producer of the show too.
So Hamm's kind of commentating on his
what's
notebook,
happening.
oh shit, that's what was happening.
Does Hamm do a Brit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Because they play Brits that are travel a visiting doctor in Russia or something, right?
Yes.
That's always fun to see.
It's during the Russian Revolution, and some of the side characters are absolutely hilarious, and it's very, very good.
Cool.
So if you're looking for something real quick, that just to take your mind off of it, it's 8 episodes, real short, complete series, very good.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
Nice. Cool.
Well, that's going to do it for us this week. But Sam,
hey.
You want to give out a shout out again? Because you don't know I do this sometimes at the end of every episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because you tune out when I actually say this, so I'll let you do it this time.
I shout out because I tune out because I don't want to make fun of things that you're saying. Is that so wrong?
No, it's not. I appreciate that. I'm a little hurt that that's how you feel.
Shout out to our sister school Movie Versus podcast. It'd been a while since I'd watched through them, and I finally loaded them back up and watched 3 to 4 episodes in a row. It's just a great cast. We're in the same family, but it's just a little bit of a different taste. So I'd definitely check it out.
Cool.
Absolutely. All right. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're listening on iTunes or Stitcher, or if you're just discovering this podcast on YouTube. You can hit the subscribe now on YouTube, and it will be loaded right there on your YouTube page. So you can just pull that up while you're surfing the internet or doing whatever. But
almost like we're trying to reach as many people as possible.
It is. Now, people complain about the Facebook one, and yes, I understand the Facebook post. It's just to remind you that we're out there. And then the very avenues that you can take to listen to us, iTunes, Stitcher, podcasting source, YouTube. More are coming. We promise.
You can also new mediums.
What?
Are more coming by the invention of new mediums, or
possibly?
You're still looking at more stuff?
I'm still looking at how I can get reach the masses.
Virtual
future
reality
tech
podcast.
Virtual reality podcast, yes. That is the future. If you want to tell us how that's a horrible idea. No, go on.
I was going to say, you know what? And I know you would do this, Joe, if Fat Man Batman or like a podcast with celebrities, if you could VR in and they had like a 360 camera set up and you could just like move around like you're there, that'd be pretty dope.
I totally would do that.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. But until then, you'll just have to settle for contacting us via Facebook at 3Wise Media, or Twitter at 3Wise Radio, hashtag 3Wise Radio, Instagram 3Wise Radio, or Gmail at 3wiseradio@gmail.com.
Yeah.
So you can contact us. We can talk about you. There's many different things we can do. We'll see you next week.
You got anything, Steve?
3Wise Radio!
In this one, is she a lesbian? Because you know she's gay in real life. I was like, I didn't
So?
feel like that at all. But also, well, it's not like if she was, sure, but they didn't push it.
No,
like
they didn't push. Like I saw signs, but like they didn't push it.
It was
at
like
all,
people
no.
desperately tried to push an agenda with this movie. Like before I even saw the movie, I saw 10 signs in Ghostbusters to let you know she's gay. It's like she winks at Kristen Wiig. Okay, she's just a person that may or may not be gay. Like who cares?
Right.
Who cares? The only sexuality that we saw in that movie was that Kristen Stewart Kristen Wiig was incredibly attracted to the Hemsworth boy.
And I liked that. I thought that was funny where she's like, all right, we'll dance. He's like, nope, I'm done.
Yep. Yeah. He's got... Yeah, so I just... Again, yeah, it was like what you were saying. Like, people were trying to push whatever agenda they could with this movie. And it's like, just let it happen. Yeah. And I think that's what this movie did the best job of. Is just kind of... It was just an organic movie that didn't feel like it was... It didn't feel like it was Bridesmaids. It was like, this is a chick movie for chicks.
Right.
Made by chicks, except for the director. Right? Because it was...
It's the same guy, yes.
Yeah, same guy. So this was it was good. I changed my vote.
Yeah.
We didn't record it, but I changed my vote
It's all right.
from okay to good.